Want to know is, what are you telling guys like that, clients like that, when they're looking outside and going, oh my God, there's Trump in the U.S., there's the tariffs, there's this trade war going on. What are the things that they want to know from you? What kinds of solutions are they looking for?
Look, I think if we would have had this conversation earlier this year, everybody was very, very focused on the U.S. and potentially even doubling down in the U.S. And I think clearly, as we've seen shifts and changes, one of the things that's become very clear is that you need to think in scenarios. Okay. Just to believe that there is a base case scenario, we've seen throughout this year an ever-changing dynamic, be that tariffs, be that currencies, be that geopolitical, macro.
Often by the day.
A lot of expectations that people had have actually turned. So I think remaining nimble and thinking in scenarios. So what we do is really think in those scenarios, continue to update those scenarios, and one of the key elements that we've been positioning throughout, already going into this year, has been diversification. I recall specifically at the Asia Wealth Forum, when I did the intro, I talked about diversification and thinking about not just one region, one sector, but thinking about different regions, different sectors, different currencies, to be diversified. And I think this is working well on a relative basis.
So diversification, other assets, other currencies, it begs the question, right? For a lot of people around the world, and I'm guessing your clients as well, right? One of the key questions is, one of the things that they're looking to do most of all is diversify away from the dollar or dollar assets. Is that the case with UBS clients?
Look, generally, there's clearly momentum around diversifying away from the US dollar, and we've seen that of late. Equally, at the end of the day, we are in the business of helping clients diversify, but also construct better investment portfolios across different asset classes, right? So from that perspective, we need to watch the currency space as much as we need to watch the rate space. And there's quite a lot of volatility across currencies, rates, as much as continued volatility and everything that we're going to continue to see, right? What we saw last year, what we've seen coming into this year, and then throughout this year, year to date, I think we would all agree, think in scenarios, work through those scenarios, diversify your portfolio, and we're here to help you construct better investment portfolios.
Including the addition of probably more gold. UBS has been bullish gold for some time, right? And still are, even at these levels.
That's an investment call that our CIO, Mark Hafley, made together with his team, and that call has worked out quite well, I would say.
Yeah, and I got to ask you, right, because everybody's talking about it, we had Bitcoin, BTC, hitting a new record high just overnight, north of $109,000 a coin. Are clients asking about that kind of exposure too, or not?
Well, generally, I think across the board, you've had more interest in crypto. We don't engage or provide investments around crypto. This is not a space we're active in.
This is not, or not yet?
As of today, we're not active in this space.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Another big trend, theme, and buzzword is what's been going on with the AI, right? And I noticed that, at least on your investment banking side, the IB side, you've recently come up with these little avatars, AI-driven avatars, that you use to help engage with clients. Is the same thing about to happen on the wealth management side as well, with billionaires?
So if you think about AI, right, while at the beginning, a lot of people were thinking this is a buzzword, maybe it's a hype. What we can really truly see is, if deployed appropriately across large language models or agentic AI, right, little agents that you can use, there's clearly an opportunity here, right? And there's an opportunity across the institution, front to back, throughout the value chain, as you mentioned in the investment bank, but as much also, of course, in wealth management. Yeah. Actually, in Singapore, we have our AI transformation factory, what we call. We just now also added Hong Kong and other places in the world. And we clearly are investing significantly in AI. I do believe this is going to be something that's going to help us deliver more personal, more reliable, as much as faster content and support to our clients.
Yeah, more efficient as well, I get it. And
effective.
And I would assume that this would target more probably the new gen wealth or your younger, still very well-heeled clients, right? Because I can't imagine the traditional classic sort of Asian billionaire going like, what is this avatar thing? What do you want me to do with it?
Well, I would... I don't think my mother would really appreciate you just specifying that only the younger generation is focused on technology and AI. And I think one of the things that we've seen, and probably saw the acceleration during the pandemic, has been technical adoption.
Yeah.
Right? Conversations happen more and more remotely. And more people are using tech-enabled support and services. Why would you not use AI and the support of AI to be advised, to be helped navigate? I can tell you, I actually ended up, and again, I'm probably not the most tech-savvy individual, but even I was able to actually book a whole trip just through an AI agent. So if you think about that, I think over time we will see, just like we saw with tech adoption, we saw with the internet, there will be clients and investors and I think users, if the experience is good, reliable, using it more.
Okay, so for now, the AI avatars on the IB side, maybe soon on the wealth management side as well. That's sort of a front end, very customer facing or client facing, right? How AI'd is UBS as a bank at the back end already?
So this is an area, so for example, we use Copilot. I even write emails with Copilot. It's actually pretty efficient, very helpful. So overall, that's just one example. But if you think about the entire value chain, front office, mid office, back office, if you like, there are a number of use cases we're working on and deploying across the institution. It's about effectiveness, better quality, time, but of course also an element of cost and efficiency, as you mentioned before.
Do you have any thoughts on who could win the AI race, China versus the US? Because on cost, DeepSeek a couple of months ago, it's like, you know, the hyperscalers of the US dropped $250 billion, right? These guys, DeepSeek, right, they did it on basically a piece of string and 2 pieces of gum. So that's cost for you, right?
Look, I think one of the things that we've been saying, we've been out here in Asia for a long time, and as you know, we have a significant presence, of course, also in mainland China. We increased our security stake in our UBS Securities entity from 67 to 100%, so we are very committed to Asia. So looking at Asia, we never underestimate the opportunity and the possibilities around technology and talent, specifically in Asia. It was interesting to see that there was a bit of a surprise globally around DeepSeek. DeepSeek is not a new phenomena, and the fact that you've got great technology out here in Asia is not a new phenomena. So I do feel one should not underestimate what is available in Asia, which again also makes us bullish around the future prospects of Asia and wealth growing in Asia.
So you weren't surprised by DeepSeek is what you're saying from conversations with folks like your clients at Baba or JD.com?
If you allow me, can I ask you a different question?
Yeah.
Were you surprised about EV cars being built in China and being built really well? I've got 2 of them. So I do have to say, look, I think one of the things one should never underestimate talent, demographics, and of course will. I mean, we as a family moved out here to Asia last year. I have to say, I've been immensely impressed by the entrepreneurial spirit, the care, the focus on relationships, as much as the fact that people are pragmatic, practical, and persistent. And I think all of that, if you think about it as a mathematical function, works well for Asia.